audio sample from Mademoiselle Cheesepaw by Pamela Haberlander. Chapter 1. Pour perfume and powdered sugar. In a big old house with crooked floorboards and a creaky staircase lives a very special mouse. Her name is Clara. At least it used to be. Today she is known as Mademoiselle Cheesepaw. Of course, no one in the great human world knows her real name. In fact, almost no one even knows she exists. Because Clara, Mademoiselle Cheesepaw, is a true master of hiding. She lives quietly and secretly behind a bookshelf in the children's room, right there, where dust bunnies gather in the corners and no vacuum cleaner ever dares to go. That's where her home is. Tiny, but exquisite, with a chandelier made of buttons and a sofa crafted from an old wool glove. Once, she even found a golden earring and turned it into a wall clock. What does she do there? Well, every evening, before the house has completely settled, she rubs her tiny, delicate mouse paws with a teeny drop of camembert. A little extravagant, yes. But for Clara, it's simply self-care. Her paws should stay soft, and, as she likes to say, a hint of cheese opens both heart and nose. Clara originally comes from the German-speaking part of Switzerland, from a small village overlooking green hills and bleating goats. That's where she learned to love cheese and silence. But as a young mouse, she wanted more from life, more than mountain air and cheese fondue. She dreamed of music, haute couture, adventure, and maybe the perfect mouse gentleman. So she packed her little suitcase, full of dreams and cheeses, and traveled to Paris. She lived for many years in Montmartre, on a spice shelf above a candy shop with a view of the Eiffel Tower. For a while she shared a home with her best friend Josette. They had a pincushion for a sofa, drank mint leaf tea, and pondered life. Those were golden days, filled with chansons, caramel crumbs, and the occasional sneaky visit to an opera box. But Paris was also loud, very loud, and busy. And after Josette passed away, everything grew quieter, in a sad, heavy way. Clara couldn't stay. She missed Josette, but also the calm of her old home. So she said goodbye to the city of lights, the tarts, the hustle. She dreamed of a countryside manor, somewhere where the days are long and the nights peaceful. A place for good books, well-groomed paws, and maybe a garden with thyme. Why she ended up in England of all places? Well, sometimes even Clara wasn't sure. Maybe it was the sound of rain on the roof. Maybe it was a mistake. One day, in a moment of weakness, lured by the smell of a particularly ripe Stilton, she climbed into the travel bag of an English lady. She hadn't planned on it being a one-way ticket. And so she landed here, in an English bookshelf, in a children's room, in a house full of noise, music, and jammy fingers. But Clara wouldn't be Clara if she let that get her down. She made herself at home, built a mailbox out of a matchbox, and listened to the life of the humans around her, especially the two children living in the house, Emily and Maxie. They had no idea they shared their home with a mouse. Not yet. But Clara heard a lot. She watched, and she thought. She thought about life, about cheese, and sometimes even about responsibility. Because Clara wasn't just any mouse. No, she was a mouse with character and with shape. A little round, perhaps, like a wedge of brie that had sat too long in the sun. Her fur was silky and grey, with a silvery sheen that looked almost like a pearl necklace in the right light. Her ears were always perked, ready for gossip and cheese rumors, and her whiskers were perfectly curled. That mattered to her. And though she tried to stay unnoticed, she could never quite hide her Parisian charm. She spoke with a soft French accent, even if she mostly talked to herself. Even when discussing the quality of her breakfast cheese, you'd hear, "Non, non, this is not a proper cheddar." That she had ended up in an English nursery between picture books and building blocks, that had not been the plan. But life doesn't always ask. It scoops you up, carries you off, and sets you down exactly where you're needed, even if you don't know it yet. More on that soon. But for now, Clara made herself comfortable.